Oh, he dropped it. Oh, he dropped it. Oh, he dropped it. It's right here, stupid. Feel me? You're not gonna get me with this. You feel me? You're not gonna get me with this. Oh, but it's gone again. What's that? Oh my gosh. You're not gonna give me this. You feel me? You're not gonna give me with that. You're not gonna give. It's gone one more. That wasn't cool though when I, you know what I'm saying, him with the simple shit like that. You know, oh, you can see it now. Real review, we review. Today, we are going to be talking about Ballerina from the John Wick universe. Released June 6th, 2025, directed by Len Wiseman. I was a bit disappointed that, you know, Chad Stahelski did decide to step away or hand over the reins to Len Wiseman for this movie. I walked in there thinking it wasn't going to be too bad. My expectations were blown out the water, to be quite fair. So, you know, I'm happy. Before I say anything else, I'm going to throw up that quick spoiler warning, you feel me? For anyone who has not seen Ballerina in its entirety and does not want to be spoiled, as I will be talking about this movie in some detail, I suggest you click off this video, go watch the movie for yourself, and then come back to it. It'll be here for you. But if you don't care, you don't care. We welcome you anyway. This was, I guess you could say, the first step into expanding the John Wick universe in a theatrical sense. I do believe there is a Continental series out on Peacock, but this really feels like the first step into expanding the universe. Now, this does take place between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4. It's a very solid film, great action. Oh my gosh, Anna de Armas. She was amazing in this, to be fair. On top of her being absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I'm telling you, bro, we need bad bitches in movies. And when a baddie can act, I'm not gonna say bad bitch because I respect her. When a beautiful woman can act, it does wonders for the movies. You know what I'm saying? Again, like, we're done with Gal Gadot and her ass. I'm gonna try not to mention her every video, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
I need you to give me the stone.
Now, starting off with this intro, the movie does start with a, I would say, flashback. Technically, it is a bit of a plot point here. So we're here with young Eve Macaro and her father. Her father, funny enough, is played by David Castaneda from Umbrella Academy. We don't know exactly what the dad does, but we get a sense that, you know, he's somewhat involved with the assassin world. Eve and her father, they get attacked by, we're not exactly sure who yet, but you could say these are armed hitmen. Right off the bat, we get a pretty freaking sick action scene with Eve's father and the armed men. He was straight hands with it. And when I say hands, I mean elbows, because he was throwing them things. I be telling what I tell y'all in the Mission Impossible reaction, but them elbows be crucial. They're a weapon when you use them right. Blocking, attacking. I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of him. Was, I should say. Unfortunately, he did die in the fight. At the end, he got away. Technically, he won. Kind of get semi-introduced here into the big bad of the movie, though. Now, we do find out he is the chancellor of this cult / no, it's a cult. I'm not going to say anything else. It is a cult. Next scene, Eve is sitting in the police station, which is where she meets Winston. Now, we all know Winston, manager of the Continental down in New York. Her father tried to keep her away from this world. She did get pulled into it. So I guess Winston taking the chance to, you know, kind of honor her father at the same time, but make sure that if she does slip into this world, she's on the good side or she's on the right side. He brings her to the director of the Roscaroma. Of course, we met the director back in John Wick 3, I believe, where she did help John Wick escape or flee from the table. She decides to take in young Eve and she enrolls her into this academy they have here, where she learns to fight, of course. We do know that John Wick himself actually did study here for a little bit. Granted that he uses a lot of sambo in his martial arts or in his fighting. So she learns sambo, she learns ballet, she gets some firearm training as well. I'm sure a whole slew of other things, but they are at the end of the day training her to be a killer. Now Eve is a grown woman. We're actually looking at Ana de Armas on screen here. I do like a lot how they don't shove the John Wick world into our face here. They kind of hint at it. We get a better sense of what he was actually doing here when he trained with the Roscaroma. Granted that they do train men and women. Now that I think about it, does that mean John Wick knows ballet? Eve at this point, I'm sure, is thirsty for revenge. She does ask for permission from the director. The director, I could tell that she doesn't want Eve to follow this path. Again, she does want to use Eve as well, so she actually starts putting her on contracts. Now, we do get a nice, pretty fun scene here in her first ever contract. She's supposed to protect this young woman. I believe her father said that he's afraid of her being kidnapped. Unfortunately, her father's instincts were right. Eve is there. She does actually stop this. It's a pretty fun fight scene. Granted that she does struggle a little bit, but she finds her groove and, you know what I'm saying, she handled business. So, you know, that was lit. I'm not gonna lie. 2 months later, though, she seems to have found her stride. We're in a bathroom. maybe has killed 8, 9 people here and just walked out. I wanted to have seen that, but you know what I'm saying? We get to see the carnage afterwards. I guess that's pretty cool. I did like how as she's passing each body and she had quite a collection of knives on her, I'm sure. She decides to collect her knives and she just is pulling them out of the bodies as she's passing them. That was pretty cool. As she's trying to leave though, she actually does get, I guess, attacked by these other people who I'm sure had some relation to the people that she just killed. She handles the 2 people that did crash into her though. We do get a flashback here back to when her father did die. She noticed a scar, a particular scar in the shape of an X. People that just pulled up on her, they have the same scars. She confronts the director about this and she figures that you know something, so you're gonna cough up all the information. The director gives her the rundown basically saying, hey, you do not want to mess with these people. Matter of fact, we have some type of a treaty going here, so do not mess that up because we don't want a war on our hands. As where the high table surrounds themselves rules and they have regulations and all that shit, these people do not. She doesn't listen. She actually does head to the Continental to meet with Winston. Reluctantly, Winston does give her some information, tells her basically, I'm gonna tell you the same thing she said. These are not cool people, you shouldn't be messing with them, but we do keep our eyes on them when they ever do check into the Continentals around the world. There's actually one of their members right now in Prague, so she goes to Prague. Lord and behold, Norman Reedus, my nigga Daryl, you know what I'm saying? I did think that was pretty cool that he's actually tied up now in this universe. Norman Reedus character Dylan Pine does have his daughter with him as well. They're on the run from this cult. Dylan asks Eve to take care of his daughter because he doesn't feel like he's gonna make it out of this tonight. He wants her to have a better life, a normal life, all that shit. Unfortunately, Dylan gets shot and Eve gets knocked out somehow. I don't know how that happened, but she did get snuck up on. And the cult did end up taking Dylan's daughter. I think that is where the intro ends though. Eve's got some, bit of a sense now of who these people are. I'm just going to talk about a couple things that I do like about this movie. Eve is on this revenge tour now at this point. And one thing I do like a lot about this movie is we bring back the color scheme. A little bit. In the previous John Wick movies, you notice a lot that it was blue or red lighting or accented or whatever. We get that a little bit here. For the most part, the lighting is normal, but there are some scenes with the blue lighting, and I like they brought that back. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was pretty damn cool. I also do like a lot the sound design and some of the score here as well. Score's not that memorable, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? It pulls me into the movie, so that was cool. Camera work's pretty damn cool also. A lot of the shots we get, a lot of visuals we got here as well. Oh my gosh. And actually, now that I'm just gonna bring this up, we're just gonna riff these off here. The action sequences we got in this movie were insane, bruh. Insane. Starting with Eve, who got into 2 gunfights, full-blown gunfights within, I believe, 2 days at this point. She does find like where these people or this cult lives. This is a full-blown city. I mean, there's hundreds of people. To be fair though, they kind of suck because Eve takes care of a lot of them pretty damn quickly and effortlessly. Granted that I do think they are civilians, but they act like they're all military. But no joke when I tell you that everyone in this village was ready to die, leaving the comfort of their own home to go hunt down Eve. She's fighting a city, basically. That's what's crazy. Oh, another freaking cool scene we got though is when she stumbled into the armory of this village and she found a freaking flamethrower and she utilized the shit out of that. Like, oh my gosh, she was actually torturing people left and right and center. Bro, this is fire. No pun intended. I didn't mean to make that joke, but you know what I'm saying? I did it. Matter of fact, we end up actually getting, and this was pretty damn sick, we actually end up getting a flamethrower versus a flamethrower. Another guy picks up another flamethrower and they start taking shots at each other. That was awesome. I came to play. There's a price to pay. Shout out to Miss. Eve did run out of gas in her flamethrower. She's a smart damn cookie. As she's, taking cover from the other flamethrower, she sees a fire hose. She walks outside and uses the fire hose as a water shield against the flamethrower. Bro, it was so sick seeing that. Fight scenes in this movie in general were just amazing. I also do like that, John Wick was introduced, or well, he was of course brought into this movie. The Chancellor and the director again do have that treaty. Chancellor calls up the director and says, hey, you need to call this woman off or else there's gonna be a war on your hands. And the director says, well, she's acting of her own free will, I can't do anything, but I'm gonna send someone to take care of this for you. That person being John Wick. And he finds Eve pretty quickly, I should say. Well, actually, funny enough, the Chancellor told everyone, leave John Wick alone and let them deal with this. Basically telling these people to get out of the way. They do have a little bit of a fight here, but John knows that she's doing this for the right reasons, even though she's doing the wrong thing. Granted that, he's done worse for less. And he says, hey, the contract is supposed to last till midnight, but if you're able to kill him before then, I'm gonna leave you be. He lets her go and she goes to finish off what she had started here on a de Armas, just to talk on the actress here, was so freaking good. We need her in more action movies. Granted, she was in No Time to Die, but that was like one scene. She had maybe 5-10 minutes of screen time, and maybe half of that was action wise, right? This was such a good show of her skills here and her acting prowess. This gave me Atomic Blonde vibes. If you ever watch Hannah, I don't want to sound like a dickhead, but I feel like sometimes when a woman is in the main role of an action movie, I should say, for lack of a better word, it's not great. It's not great. I'm gonna be honest. This was a good example as to what they can accomplish. Kudos to her. She killed this movie. And now this isn't a weak point, but it's not a strong point either. There's one scene in this movie that I think is really forced exposition that they don't do much with. It's not fleshed out enough to where it could really add on to the movie. Eve and her father left this place way back when. We find out that Eve had a sister and her dad decided to leave her there because she had already taken her life and she was already part of this assassin world, or whatever you want to call it. Eve and her sister, they do meet back up. Again, it doesn't go nowhere though. So fortunately, the Chancellor turns on her, sends people to kill them both. Of course, Eve makes it out, but unfortunately her sister did pass away in front of her. And that's just like, what was the point of that? It was no joke within 5 minutes. She finds out it's her sister and then she's dead. And it's just like, why was that even in? I don't know. I don't know. Granted that Eve didn't even remember her sister. She knew she had a sister, but she didn't remember who she was. It's like a neutral point. I can't say it's a weak point because it doesn't hurt the movie here. I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to talk about the ending here. It's quite straightforward. Eve has taken out quite a bit of these people, and again, the way she's been taking these people out is just ridiculous too, because oh my gosh, she's brutal as shit. You saw in the trailer where when she stuck a grenade in some dude's mouth and then shut him behind a door, just let that bitch blow. That was nuts. She did that a couple times. She's fighting a whole city here. She's done pretty well with him. Like, it's been slight work for her. Real talk. Now, the Chancellor is trying to get away with Ella. He just decides to cut his losses, leave the city. I find it funny, though, because when Eve was fighting all these people beforehand, his, like, security told him, we should get you out of here because this isn't looking too safe right now. And he says, I will not. 200 years, no one from this village has left their seat of power. And 5 minutes later, he was speeding down the highway. Eve does incapacitate his vehicle, kill his bodyguard that was driving him, and then he gets out and he tries to explain this is where she's from, this is who she is, this is all she's going to be and all that. You belong here, you're one of us. And it's just a long rant that she cuts short because she just decides to just shoot him in the head. I just find it funny that she just got sick of his shit and she just put an end to it. There's not much else to this ending though, to be fair. I mean, Ella's safe. She actually gets Ella back to her dad, who's actually looking like he's gonna make a full recovery. Yeah, that's basically it. John Wick told the director herself, hey, she killed the guy, so I don't really need to kill her because this is over. I also like it here though that the director kind of just like, oh, okay. She didn't know what to make sense of this. Like, she doesn't know what's worse. Having Eve out on the loose like that, or, you know, having this cult lose its leader in such a fashion. She just decided to take the win where she could, I guess. I mean, I get it though, you know, it's a messy business, so I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, there's not no real cut and dry solution here, so she's just gonna take that. I mean, the guy's dead, he can't really, you know, call a war on me, I guess. And then this is where we find out that they put a $5 million contract on Eve's head. There's not an after credit scene. I'm kind of glad though. I'm over those, to be honest with you. I get why they do them in the MCU movies, but just we don't need them everywhere, you know. That was great. It's a very fun movie, very straightforward, you know what I'm saying. It's a vengeance movie. It's not much else you could really ask for, but we did get a lot more than I thought we were gonna get. So, but we're just gonna go ahead and give our rankings here, starting off with the writing and story. It's not too much different from your typical revenge story here. It is a spin-off movie. The writing wasn't gonna be great, but it's not terrible. That's the thing. So for the writing and story, we are going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Next is going to be the sound design and score. They're both really good. They pull me into the movie a lot. They're not too memorable though. It's good, don't get me wrong, I just don't remember shit about it. But same with the writing, it's not terrible here. So we are going to give it a 7 out of 10. We're going to give it a 7 out of 10. Next is going to be the casting and acting, which I think is the best part about this movie. Again, Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves, of course, Norman Reedus, Ian McShane reprising his role as Winston, Lance Reddick with a posthumous reprisal as well as Corone. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. Frank, who's supposed to be like the sommelier for this movie. The Chancellor, he's a pretty good actor, and it's Gabriel Byrne. If you watched Hereditary, you know how good of an actor he is. So shout out Ana de Armas, dude. Like, she killed it, bro. I honestly, I can't get over her performance of this movie. She carried it for real. Next, we're going to talk about the cinematography here. A lot of good shots, a lot of great visuals. Nothing confusing about the scenes here. Very straightforward shooting, easy to follow, I should say. Do like a lot of the use of their use of colors here. I know that, like I mentioned, like they bring it back the blue lighting for when Keanu Reeves steps in. But even so, in general, just a lot of the colors, it just looked nice. It just was nice to look at, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I also do like here. So what they did in this movie is really involve the environment. Like, it's like the director didn't forget that they were on an actual set. You know what I'm saying? When she would throw something, we'd see it break something in the background instead of it just being gone. Like, you ever watch a movie, you see someone throw something at someone, and then you just never see the item afterwards? That's not the case here. That's just a detail I liked so much, you know what I'm saying? For the cinematography, though, we are going to give it a, I'm gonna say 9 out of 10, because it's very good. It's very good in this film. Overall, for Ballerina 2025, we are going to wrap this up here with a 8.5 out of 10. Nah, I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it a 9. It was so damn good. I'm sure I didn't do it any justice, though. Go watch the movie, you know what I'm saying? It's so worth it. I'm gonna rewatch it again. And of course, I'm gonna get it on Blu-ray as well. And then I'm gonna rewatch it every year, as I do with the John Wick movies. So, you know what I'm saying? Like there could be 80 movies in this universe. I'm gonna watch all of them. They're so good. The John Wick verse, I'm ready for it. I'm all here for it. That was Ballerina from the World of John Wick. I appreciate y'all very much for tuning in. That's gonna be it for me from here. So, my guess, next time we are going to talk is going to be for 28 years later. I can't wait. Appreciate y'all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy that video, you can toss me one of them likes. I truly do appreciate them. They don't go without notice. Without further ado, I'm gonna bid y'all good night, better one and order-ish. And if he is for us, there is no one who can stand against us. Again, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. God bless.